Welcome to the Cubbie Corner here on SouthBendCubs.com. I'm South Bend Cubs broadcaster Brendan King. Today on the corner, we welcome in South Bend Cubs team president Joe Hart to get his preview on the 2018 campaign and what he's looking forward to as we're 17 days away from opening night. Here in the South Bend Cubs clubhouse, happy to be joined by South Bend Cubs team president Joe Hart. Joe, thanks for stepping on the Cubbie Corner today. It's your first appearance today on the corner, huh?
My pleasure. Hopefully you'll let me come back.
Well, we're happy to have you here. Joe, let's get right into it. 17 days until opening day here. What's your excitement level to getting back to the grind?
Well, I think the biggest thing right now, there's a combination of excitement, but then there's also a combination of a lot of anxiety because, when you're this close to opening day, you got a lot of stuff to get ready. But for me, it's just seeing people back at the ballpark, having a great time, the sound of the ball hitting the bat, nice warm days, the splash pad going. This really is kind of my favorite time of year. It's kind of one of the double-edged swords. My favorite time, but it's also the most anxious time.
Well, you talk about getting ready. What are some of the things on your schedule that you're especially pressing? 17 days, just over 2 weeks. What do you got going right now?
Well, I think the biggest thing for us is getting the facility clean and in just top shape. I mean, we want this thing to be spotless on opening day, and for us, that's kind of the biggest challenge. With the weather that we've had. Stadium's got to be pressure washed from top to bottom. Our grounds crew's out there getting stuff ready. I know they had the mower out yesterday. So, it's we'll be done. There's no doubt. We've been ready every year. This year is not going to be any different, but we're ready to go.
Could you give us all a little preview of what's coming up on April 7th, things for fans to look forward to when they step in the park?
Yeah, I think probably the biggest thing that most fans, especially those with kids, are going to notice is the fun zone has been relocated. Because of the new development that we have going on, the inflatables were too tall. It would have blocked the views of the apartment. So we've actually relocated the fun zone to the west side of the team store. That old William Street cul-de-sac, we vacated it, actually spent a significant amount of money to raise the concourse up. And, it's going to be ready for opening day as well. So we picked up about 12,000 square feet over in that corner of the stadium.
Well, fans will look forward to coming here on April 7th. Now, for you, Joe, you got here in 2012, just after the 2011 season. At that point, you're still the South Bend Silverhawks. When you got here to South Bend from Port Charlotte, Florida, what were your first thoughts? What were you thinking in order to get the job done? It was your responsibility to get the job done and revitalize the team.
Well, the biggest thing for me is I didn't get here till January of 2012, so we were under right around 80 days till opening day. So it was just kind of a whirlwind that first year. I tell people all the time, I really don't remember that first year because it was just nose to the grindstone nonstop. But, for me, I looked back at the history of what this franchise used to do. I saw it used to draw 250,000 plus back in the good years. So, I knew people weren't leaving the area. I just knew that there was a fundamental flaw or something could be fixed. And I'm a lifelonger in baseball. I've been working in baseball for 23 years. So really, for me, the excitement was to come in and really, how do I turn this thing around? A lot of it was getting the right staff in here. Customer service became the number one priority for our organization. Even food and beverage. I mean, that's part of the experience when you come to the game. And unfortunately, those were not some of the things that were in place when I got here. So, in all honesty, it was a lot of work, a lot of commitment and effort. But there were some simple things that we could make some changes on to immediately show some improvement.
Well, it's really paid off here. You draw over 350,000 fans last year in 2017. That's an impressive number, but for yourself, you always talk about constant improvement. Yeah. How do you improve that?
Yeah, it's tough every year. I mean, we go into the off season, no matter how good the previous year was, we kind of high-five the day after the season. Hey, we did great. Okay, let's throw it out. It's time to start over again because we got to continue to reinvent ourselves. I mean, even though last year was our fourth consecutive year setting a single-season attendance record, nobody's happy. Nobody's satisfied because there's still more to do. Our goal this year is I'd love to get over 400,000, and with obviously the new rooftop that's coming, that gives us the ability to sell more tickets. So for us, it's continue to work hard. Don't ever be satisfied.
You want to give us a little update on the rooftop and the Ivy?
Yeah, it's coming right along. It's going to be awesome. I think when people come out on opening day, they're going to see the size and the scope of what that project's really going to be. It's $23 million brand new construction development in downtown South Bend. So it's going to totally change the sightlines from in the stadium. The rooftop will hold over 300 people. So by the end of June, we'll be able to rent that out. I mean, it's going to be, Wrigleyville East, but I like to say that our rooftop might be a little better because we actually designed it and built it for that purpose, whereas everything in Wrigley was an afterthought. Those buildings were there, and somebody said, hey, let's put seats on it.
Well, we can't wait to see it. Now, there are a couple opportunities to see the South Bend Cubs before the season. It was just announced this week that the South Bend Cubs are going to play the University of Notre Dame.
Yeah, that's something that we're excited about. I know our players are excited about. Coach Aoki with Notre Dame, he's excited about. I know his guy. I mean, think about your college kids getting to go up against some professionals. Our biggest thing is it'll be hopefully good weather. It's April 4th. And really for us, it's kind of a twofold approach for us. One, it gives us an opportunity to do a dry run, let our staff members kind of get a little bit of an opportunity to to interact with the crowd before opening day, because we have some turnover from previous years. And then 2, there's a charity component about it. So tickets are only $5. All the ticket money is going to go to local charities. We've picked Ronald McDonald House Charities of Michiana. Notre Dame has picked a scholarship program through the Kroc Center. So just a great way to give back to the community, give people a sneak peek of our team, and gives us a chance to get ready to go for April 7th.
We will see you here at Four Winds Field on April 4th, and just like Joe said, on April 7th. Joe, we really appreciate you joining the Cubbie Corner. Hope you had some fun.
I love it. Thank you. See everybody on April 7th. Fireworks. It's going to be a great night.
Thank you all. We now welcome in South Bend Cubs Director of Media and Promotions, Chris Hagstrom. Chris, that was Joe Hart on the Cubbie Corner making his first appearance, and I think Joe did a pretty good job. But taking from your perspective, 17 days away from opening day, what's on your schedule? What are you working on?
Well, obviously, across all our departments, everyone's getting ready for opening day. There's a lot to do, a lot of artwork that needs to be designed, creative work, videos. A lot of people seem to think that we know the players that are coming to South Bend. That's unfortunately just not the case right now. We will not know that until they actually get here. So it's kind of a misnomer. People are asking, oh, who's going to be coming to South Bend? Well, we can guess all we want right now and put an educated guess together, but right now it's up in the air, and those decisions won't be made until the final week of spring training, and then we'll know once that flight list gets put together and who's coming out. But other than that, there's so much more to get done. We're receiving all of our sponsorship elements that are coming in. We have creative work that can get done. We can do a lot of stuff without the players and then drop them in once they get here, because once they get here, that's under 5 days until opening night. And so, thankfully we have 2 days to get ready while the team is playing on the road. Yeah. But those teams that play on the opening night of the Midwest League, that's a really tough turnaround, turn around a lot of creative. So much that gets done in the control room that people don't know about: the testing of equipment, game program design, artwork designs, getting funny video clips for the video board this year, sound effects, all that stuff that goes into the behind the scenes look. And so we're kind of working some late nights to get that stuff knocked out.
Well, on our end, it was just announced that the South Bend Cubs are again going to be on television this year on My Michiana. It's going to be Darren and I on the broadcast. I'm sure you'll join from time to time. We'll be happy to have you. But
I don't know if you want that or not. If you ever watched last year, I don't know.
Well, I'll be happy to have you.
Okay.
But you want to give us on your perspective, just how excited you are to have the Cubs back on television?
Oh, it's phenomenal. I mean, I love the fact that we can produce a game for television. And one of the things that many people may not know about, we love our partners at ABC 57 and My Michiana. They help us broadcast our games, but we do all that production in-house. The camera work, the video switching, the graphics, obviously your feed that comes to us. Everything is done by the South Bend Cubs production staff. We do all of our own camera work, and there's a lot of these are students that are just trying to break into the business. We have some that are veterans that are helping us out. So there's a lot of, again, testing of equipment, trying to make sure we've got our lines of communication open to master control. And just kind of making sure that overall it's a smooth broadcast. We want to get scripts together. There's a lot of little things that I could ramble on about, but the fact that we produce our own television broadcast, I think, says a lot about the equipment that we have here and the staff that we have here. Not a lot of minor league teams do their own television broadcast production. So kind of looking forward to getting that off and rolling. And what better way to start than broadcast opening night.
How do you lead a team like that? A team of younger guys, a team of older guys. How do you guys gel together to create the great broadcast that you guys put on?
It takes patience, especially those that are new. They're not going to have the eye that a more seasoned veteran would have. So you kind of have to try to teach them, show them what they're to look for when it comes to doing a broadcast. Know baseball. If you've got a runner at third with less than 2 outs, be prepared for that guy at third to run home, whether it's a wild pitch or no situational elements as well, and being prepared for that. And then it really just comes down to you're going to spend a lot of times in the bunker with these guys. Yeah. So have fun, keep it loose. There's some directors that have a more aggressive call. I try to be more on the conservative side now.
I appreciate that when you're speaking in my ear.
When back in the day when I first got into this, I was a little more on edge than I am right now. But maybe that's age, maybe that's whiskey, who knows? But I'm really excited to this year. I think we've got a great staff lined up for this season, and I can't wait to get started.
Is your bracket busted?
I don't even have a bracket.
Oh, well, I guess that's better, because mine looks terrible.
I will say this. I told everybody that was putting brackets together, don't count out Loyola.
Right.
Being an MVC guy,
Right.
don't count out Loyola Chicago. I had them at least Elite Eight, so that's kind of my thought process. I didn't do a bracket, but ramble on.
Well, unfortunately, my Butler Bulldogs got knocked out by the Purdue Boilermakers. Brandon Liss, if you're watching this, we probably have a rivalry now.
Or even Tom Coombs too. He's a big Purdue guy, so watch out.
But yeah, definitely going to support the Ramblers, and we'll see how far they can go. They got a good club. I mean, they've won on 2 buzzer beaters. That's why they call it madness.
That's the thing is about Loyola. The Missouri Valley is a scrappy league.
Yeah.
Wichita State, they left the league, and what happened? Oh, they're no longer in the Sweet 16. Sorry, Shockers. But the Missouri Valley Conference, they do a lot of great stuff. So we're looking forward to seeing the Ramblers move on.
Well, 17 days from opening day here at Four Winds Field. Chris, we appreciate you joining the Cubbie Corner again.
Thanks for having me back.
Of course. I'm sure there'll be many more opportunities after this. Until then, have a good day, everybody.